If you're feeling lost in life and you're not sure what to do, maybe you're in school for something you don't like, or you're worried about losing a job, or maybe you can't even find a job, watch this video because I'm going to give you a 3-step framework that'll really help you get clarity on how you should be approaching your life, and more importantly, what you can do to, make it inevitable that your goals do come true. And I know that sounds really cliche and woo-woo, but this is going to be a surprising perspective that you probably haven't heard before. So first and foremost, I want you to understand, and I really want you to sit and ask yourself, like, what do you want out of your life? And that's something that people don't ask you enough. Most people are going to tell you what you should want in your life. People are going to tell you to be a doctor, be a lawyer because you get paid and you'll get respected. People are going to tell you that you need to be a good family member. People are going to tell you all these things that you should be doing, but they're never going to actually, ask you, what do you want? And so there's a book called Mastery by Robert Greene. And it talks about all these people who have mastered their craft, people who became the best in the world at what they did. And he found one core correlation. They all had this one thing in common, and it was that they picked up the thing that they became a master at a very young age, not because they make a lot of money, not because their parents told them to, but because they had a natural inclination, meaning they just naturally gravitated towards this thing. So a good example is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, when he was 3 years old, he saw a golf club on the ground and just picked it up for no reason other than he was just interested in it. And then he started swinging it, started hitting a ball, and he started playing golf when he was 3 years old. Not because his parents told him to, just out of a natural interest that's unexplainable. And so it's really, really important that you try to look back in your life when you were 5, 10, 15 years old and try to think, like, what is a thing that I naturally was just interested in. For me personally, it was video. Like when my friends were ding dong ditching people when we were in like second grade, third grade, I would always pick up a camera and record us doing it and then post it on YouTube. When we do trick shots in our backyard when we were teenagers, same thing. I just wanted to record a video and show people. And there was no reason, like there was no way to make money on YouTube back then. It was just something that sounded fun for me, and I just really wanted to show people what I was doing. And over time, I actually started, just picking up a camera more and more. I ended up just getting really good at it strictly for fun. And so if you can look back in your life and find that one thing, whether it's just you've always been interested in interesting data stats, whether it's something like design, whether it's something like you've always enjoyed conversating to strangers, it could be literally anything. If you can find something that is very, very powerful that most people don't have. And so that is actually a signal of that is the thing that you were put on this earth to pursue. And so that's a book called Mastery by Robert Greene. And it just says if you choose something that you are naturally interested in, you're never going to quit. And it's going to feel like play to you, but look like work to others. And that's how you're going to get an advantage over people in life. And if you want to become great at what you do, you just need to stack advantages. And so first and foremost, you really need to ask yourself, like, what is something I've naturally be interested in simply because I enjoy it? Now, the next thing you need, which is going to sound really obvious, but people do not do this, is you need a goal. My sole goal in life is to buy a Counter-Strike team. I want to buy a professional team. I want to buy Modesty, and I think that'll be the coolest thing in the world. And I've been working on this for like 5 years now. That has been my only goal. And why this is a good goal is because it's not going to do anything for me externally. I'm not going to buy a Counter-Strike team to get girls. I'm not going to buy a Counter-Strike team because it's a good financial investment. It's absolutely not. I'm going to buy a Counter-Strike team because it sounds fucking awesome. And that is why it's a great goal, because I know that's simply for me. And so the reason this is important is because if you don't know what you want, how is the universe going to know to give it to you? How are the opportunities going to open up to the point where that is the goal that you are going to actually be able to accomplish? The universe cannot help you if you do not tell it what you want. So that's a key thing to understand. If you do not tell the universe what you want, it's not going to be able to open the right doors and put you on the path towards that goal. And so I tell myself every single morning, I own a Counter-Strike team. I say it in present tense. I visualize myself walking out on the stage with my team in a grand finals, and every single day that's what I'm working towards. But you want to know what's interesting? Before I had this goal, I was on a very specific path. I was really obsessed with making music videos. I really wanted to be a music video director. And I sat there, I'm like, why do I want to be a music video director? I was like, oh my God, I think I just saw a Cole Bennett Lyrical Lemonade video and just thought it'd be cool to be like him. But that's not really what I want. And so I changed my mindset. I'm like, okay, really? I want a Counter-Strike team. And then what do you know? 2 weeks later, I had some of the biggest coincidences back to back to back. And all of a sudden, I started making my first YouTube videos. And then all of a sudden, I got 10,000 subscribers in a week and a half. And then I went on a completely different life trajectory that has now led me to the point where I'm about 2 years away from being able to buy a Counter-Strike team. And so it's a very vague example, but it's very interesting to see that once you get clear on your goal, stuff starts happening in life, stuff called synchronicities, where there's no way that this could be a coincidence. And you start to really see that the universe does really start to bend reality towards you getting that goal. As long as you know that that goal is for you and you repeat it in your mind every single day, stuff just starts to happen. And so this is a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And the power of your subconscious mind tells us that your subconscious is actually what's in control of your day-to-day actions. And so let me give you an example. So there's a study in the book called The Happiness Hypothesis that where they had patients come in and they thought they were going to do an eye exam. So they just had to read the letters off of an eye doctor's sheet and from different distances, okay? Well, when they walked into the doctor's office, on the way into the exam, they walked past a water fountain. And then when they get in the room, they think nothing of it and they just start doing their eye exam. But for one frame, so 1/24th of a second, way too fast for your actual conscious mind to see the words, they put the words "get water." So they flash it, so it's too fast for you to process, but it's fast enough for your subconscious to take it in and see that it was there. And so why this is interesting is because they asked all the patients halfway through, 70% of the patients ended up going and getting a drink of water from the water fountain. And then when they got back, they asked the actual patient, why did you go up, or where did you go? They said, oh, I was thirsty. Oh, I needed to take a break. And so what's really interesting about this study is that these people, the reason they went up and got water is 100% because their subconscious saw the words "get water" on the sign, but their conscious mind made up a reason. They would say, I was thirsty. They would say, oh, I needed to get fresh air. Oh, I needed to take a break. And so this shows you that your subconscious mind is actually in control of a lot of your actions. And your conscious mind just tries to make an explainable reason for why it's true. So your conscious mind tries to explain your actions even though your subconscious mind is the one taking them. And so why this is really, really important is because if you can reprogram your subconscious mind to tell you, hey, I want to buy a Counter-Strike team, well, guess what? Your subconscious mind is going to tell you every single morning, you said this is what you want, so I'm going to tell you to do this today. And how your subconscious communicates to you is through inspiration and excitement. Have you ever woke up one day and just randomly felt really excited to do a random task, and you had a lot of motivation and inspiration, and you just felt like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the gym today, I'm going to work out 2 times harder. Or, oh yeah, I'm going to go write this video. Or, oh, I'm going to eat healthy. Like, it could be something super random. Like, really start to monitor that, because that is actually your compass for what you should be doing to accomplish your goals. So if you feel like you're someone who constantly starts something and then stops a few days later, and then starts something new and then stops a few days later, what's happening is you're probably not clear on what your goal is, and you're not even clear on what you're trying to do. So your subconscious is just guessing, and it's getting you excited about a lot of random shit. And sometimes that could just be playing video games all day because you don't really have a clear path. You can get just as much dopamine doing work as long as you are clear on what you want to achieve and your subconscious knows that. It'll be so fun to write a YouTube video, or so fun to go out and shoot an ad, or so fun to program an app, because that's what your subconscious knows you want, and it's going to give you dopamine for that. And so if you're someone who literally keeps switching things left and right, like you try stuff, give it up, try stuff, get it up, you can't stick with anything, it's because you're not choosing a goal that is something that you are naturally interested in. And then secondly, you're not repeating that goal over and over into your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind can't point you in that direction. So the way I like to think about it is your subconscious mind is like your compass for you to get towards your goal. And you have to just like blindly trust it. So this is very, very interesting because it will literally tell you what you need to work on each day to achieve your goal. And so I think I'm about 2 years away from being able to buy a Counter-Strike team, because I've already accrued a few $1 million in my life. I need $7 million to actually buy the team. And I'm on a path right now that if I keep doing what I'm doing, I might be able to sell the company that I'm working on for a lot of money and be able to actually go and spend all that money on a Counter-Strike team to achieve my goal. And so obviously it's going to take time. Obviously I'm going to have to go wake up every day and like try hard and do work. But the most important thing is to like understand is like, I can't map out a 2-year map on every single thing I need to do on a daily basis to achieve that. I just need to know, okay, this is where I'm trying to go. And then I'm going to wake up every day and trust my intuition and do that thing that I think is best to get there and take that next step forward. And so that's what I'm trying to explain by the power of your subconscious mind. I just say, this is my routine. I say, I want to buy a Counter-Strike team by the time I'm 30. Then I wake up. I do not look at my phone. I do not put anything in my subconscious because that's just going to confuse it. And it's going to start worrying about, oh, is there a war in Gaza that I need to pay attention? Oh, is someone being racist on the internet? Do I need to intervene? Oh, is there another flu or pandemic coming around? That actually scares your subconscious because it's like a survival mechanic and distracts you. So I don't look at Instagram. I don't look at my phone. I don't read any of my texts. I just wake up, go straight into a shower, and just sit in the shower for like 30 minutes and see what sounds fun today. And so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, my manager told me to do this. Oh, I have to do this chore today. I just sit there and just observe my thoughts. And then usually about 15 to 20 minutes in, I start getting really excited and really creative about some random thing. Like yesterday, I made a vocabulary list for content, like how to write hooks, how to write retention. Because maybe I'm going to create like a course where I teach people how to make content or something. But it was so fun. I got really excited and it felt effortless for me. And then the day before that, I got really excited about reading the Bible, which was very strange. So I'm not like a necessarily like religious person. But I read a passage that was really relevant to my life. And it was very similar to what I'm talking about right now. And so basically your subconscious tells you what you need to do each day to get towards your goal. And if you trust it blindly, you will get there. So that is a very interesting perspective that I wish I learned earlier, because when I look back on my biggest breakthroughs in life, it was never the thing that I thought that would make me successful is what made me successful. It was always a random person that I ran into that introduced me to another random person that introduced me to, that had a random opportunity that we decided to bounce on, and it actually worked out really well. So I really just want to give you guys this wisdom because it's helped me, and it was not something that people told me in my life. And the very last thing I want to tell you guys is to listen to a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And this is talking about the importance of your identity. So who do you think of yourself as? Like when you're talking to yourself in your mind, who do you think you are? And how do you think of yourself? Because that's actually how you make decisions. If you're just telling yourself, oh, I'm an average performer. Oh, my teacher tells me I'm not very good in school. Then when you're at home and you're thinking, should you do homework? You're just going to be like, nah, who cares? My teacher already thinks I'm not good at school, so what's the difference? So then it's in line with your identity, so it makes the decision to not do your homework easy, which is very dangerous. So the most important thing is that you are in control and you set your own identity. When I was in high school, I was always telling myself, I'm a top 1% person. I am a top performer. And that is so important because that's how I anchored every decision I made. When I was sitting there at lunch and I was like, hey, what food should I eat for lunch? I wouldn't just eat random food. I would ask myself, what would a top 1% person eat for lunch? What does a top performing person eat to become the best version of themselves? Oh, probably something healthy, or probably just go to Chipotle and get a simple meal instead of fast food. I'm not going to eat Chick-fil-A. And so that's something that it's really, really important to tell yourself, is really to make sure you have an identity and that you're the one assigning it, not letting your teacher or your parents or your friends or any girl in school or something tell you that you're a loser. And then you tell yourself that every single day. Because what you think of yourself as is who you become, and it's how you make every single decision. So I know this is dragging on. I'm just trying to get warmed up before my premiere match here, but I just want to share this with you guys because, one, I love Counter-Strike. Two, I think that it's very, very important that people actually take accountability for their lives soon. With AI coming around the corner, it's going to be harder and harder to get jobs. And so it's very, very important that you are proactive and you start taking this stuff seriously, because this is how you can actually decide if you're free in life or if you're going to be just a corporate slave working for the man or getting government UBI every single week. And I really, really hope and know that you guys are all capable of taking control of your life and working on stuff and being excited about what you do, finding your true mission. So that's why the name of this channel is Free Yourself. I literally just make a video while I'm warming up every single day. I hope you guys found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if this was, and I love seeing comments. Please comment down below your thoughts. This is new for me, and I just really, really appreciate anyone who's listening. Hopefully it's helpful. Bye, guys. Free yourself.